a very good afternoon to everyone. It's an honor to welcome our two guests. Our first guest is Emeritus Professor Sanjay Jain from Avantika University. With over 40 years of experience in both industry and education, he has played a significant role in shaping the design learning in India. Originally an engineer graduate from IIT Bombay, after which he pursued a master's in design from IDC in IIT. He has worked with leading organizations such as Wipro, Bajaj Electricals, and MIT Institute of Design before joining Avantika. Throughout his career, he has helped build international academic collaborations with renowned design institutions throughout the United States, United Kingdoms, Europe, Hong Kong, and Singapore, while also contributing to innovative interdisciplinary design curricula. He was recognized as a distinguished alumnus of IDC and has received the Gandhian Young Technological Innovator Award as a faculty member for guiding students in developing impactful design solutions. Mr. Jain's perspective is extremely valuable as he is not only a design educator but also a co-learner, a mentor, collaborator, and provocateur. A person who has inspired students to question, explore, and create. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Professor Sanjay. Our next guest is Ms. Parul Vahanvati. Ms. Parul is the founder of Jain Design, which is a Pune-based multidisciplinary design studio. This studio works at an intersection of art, design, and technology. Since its inception, Jain has built a reputation for creating thoughtful products and experiences that combine minimal aesthetics, emotional connection, and precision in execution. Her own journey into design is actually a very inspiring one. Beginning with a background in architecture, she chose to explore a broader creative path through her master's from IIT Bombay. Her design studio collaborates across design disciplines and demonstrates how design can create meaningful experiences beyond individual products. As an entrepreneur, designer, and creative leader, Ms. Parul has navigated through challenges of building a business from ground up, balancing creativity with strategy, innovation with execution, and design with entrepreneurship. Her experiences into transforming design with meaningful products, founding Raiden, building a creative studio, and building all that it takes to build a successful institution are extremely valuable and will inspire a lot of us present here today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ms. Parul. So, with your extensive background in design education, we would like to address the first question to you. Design is often misunderstood as just drawing or art to somebody who doesn't quite know it yet or is a novice to the field. How would you describe what design is to a newcomer?
Seriously?
Yes. We have a lot of parents here today as well who would like to get an insight.
Okay. So there will be two perspectives. One is the old perspective, and one will be a little new perspective. I think design is, in a very simple word, is a very conscious effort to do anything meaningful so that there is an order or chaos. So this is old but very favorite way of defining. So it's a conscious effort. So let me distinguish that ants don't design, we design. Do you understand the meaning? Ants don't design, we design. Because ants, they have evolved to do what they do. We have evolved to do it consciously. Yeah. So that's why ants don't have a drawing before they make the ant hill. But we have a drawing. Yeah. So design is a conscious effort to create a meaningful order or a chaos. And the way I feel it now, I think after AI has come in, I think design is more about awakening your senses, so you can wake the world, you can look at the world little in a fresh perspective. Yeah, but for making. Oh, I can't. Oh, no, I have mic here. So yeah.
Yeah.
So design is like awakening of your senses to look at the world little with a fresh perspective and to make it a better place. But it's about awakening your senses, which we have not been doing. Yeah, this is how I'll define design.
Bam, what is your insight in the same?
For me, oh, sorry, yeah. So for me, I agree with Sir completely. For me, design does mean in trying to make an environment which is more orderly, which is more intentioned. It sort of gives meaning to the way of life. It gives you meaning to the way we grow as a civilization. So, that's a very broad perspective, of course. The way you practice it, of course, depending on the environment, the industry that you're in, you have to find that meaning for yourself.
Thank you. You studied architecture before moving into design. What inspired that shift, and did design turn out to be how you imagined it to be before joining your course?
Yeah, I did study architecture, and I was a very proud student of architecture. In fact, romanticized the idea of what it is to create spaces. But I loved creating things that are micro. If I was designing a residential building, I would be so caught up in making things that are details of a staircase, of a window. And then, the larger picture is lost. And that's when I realized maybe a smaller scale, instead of working in meters, working in millimeters, suited me more as my personality. And also the focus on details is something that really enjoyed. And that's how the shift happened. So incidentally, in our third year of architecture, we had an elective where we could take any subject. I did not take product design, but I saw what came out of that study. And I was very inspired by that. And I knew that the minute I graduate, I'll be disappointing my father and joining product design. So that's how it happened. Yeah.
And
Yes.
The thought that you had about product design before doing a master's in product design, was it the same? Or
Yes,
was it
in
just
fact, yes. In fact, the idea of creating objects that have so much intentioned thought, whether it is about the person who's using the object, the person who's designing the object. Let's not, let's not give any less credit to the creator either. But the user, of course, we all say that the user is whom we design for. The materials are very exciting. The cost, the production process, the market, all these things do excite me, and that's how I imagined an object would come to life. I think, yeah, it's. I guess it is quite true to what you envision it to be.
That's lovely. How you mentioned design plays into the day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like both of you to elaborate on how design education benefits a person in their day-to-day other than just working. So,
Have you heard of Mark Twain? Yeah, he said that design. I'm just giving a little. I'm bringing a spoof on it. He said the education has never interfered with my going to school has never interfered with my education. So it's almost similarly on a similar line. My design education in an education institution has not interfered with my ability to design. So that is one thing, because I'm not sure whether I've learned a lot in IDC. But I was there. it was, I think just being there itself is learning, because rest of all things were just protocols. Yeah. So that is one thing. Second thing was, I think you asked me how did I took up design.
Yes.
Like that. I think it was when I was an errand boy for my father. He was a painter, so he used to take me as a caddy for his canvas and brushes and colors. Whenever he used to go for outdoor landscape painting. So I was this errand boy, washing colors, washing canvases, washing brushes, mixing colors which he wanted, and also borrowing some canvas for me to do a little bit of painting on the side. This is how I think the fascination with color and making things started. So when I was in IIT Bombay studying engineering, IDC happened to be there, a place, where we used to go as to escape from the regimented education of IIT engineering, which is very very different. There I used to find people creating things, out of almost out of nothing, like clay. एक clay लिया, उसको घुमाया और एक बर्तन बन गया. And so I used to just love that, and then slowly, after finishing my engineering, I was looking forward to joining IIT, IDC as for me it was just an extension from within the campus itself. But during that time, I was also a student of NID for 7 days, but there was just too many girls, so I came back to IIT.
That is the general observation these days as well.
Because I thought IDC is known devil.
Right.
NID was unknown devil.
How does design education?
I think the biggest outcome of design education is to learn with your peers, because everyone gets their own creativity, their own mindset, their own experiences, their backgrounds, their culture. So in our studio also we try to do this. We try and get people together who come from the north, from the south, speak different language, eat different food. And that variation of thought process, even within a design studio, within an education system, that pure learning is far larger than your studio learning. So I think that's something I took away very deeply from my time at IDC.
And also building on what Parul has said, design education institutions are very unique spaces because they offer you an opportunity to meet people from diverse background who don't think alike. So there is a beautiful sort of opportunity you have.
Yes, yeah.
Very diverse, and they always think differently. And that is how you grow. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. When we go into design school, we have an opportunity to break our own thoughts and build new ones. But when we're at such a tender age, we don't realize the abilities that can help us to become a better person. In the sense that I would like to ask, what kind of qualities can one develop in this age of 10, 11, and 12 graders?
I have a lot to say on this, because I have a 14-year-old whom I'm trying to groom at home to get these qualities. Discipline, very, very important. Yeah. I think being sincere, being honest with yourself and what you deliver. I think do not be shy of hard work at all. I think we grew up in a time without digital mediums as tools to do what we did. And the non-digital mediums are not as easy to realize your thoughts. यहाँ पे एक render बनाया and looks like a product, but does it really get made as a product? So I think for me, and be very passionate. Be extremely passionate about what you do. And everybody who's been really great at what they do have had that passion that drives them, whether you're a biochemist or you are an engineer or you are a designer, an artist. If you're passionate about what you do, I think you'll give it your 100%. So yeah, for me, discipline comes paramount. Passion for what you do, live it. Yeah, it's a lay of life. Live your designs. Yeah.
I think the best thing will be to sit down at one place and work. For hours together.
Hours.
And something meaningful. It could be anything. Yeah, so that is what I will suggest to my student. That's how it has worked for us as well. We are not from very. During the time when I was preparing for IIT JEE, in my place there were no coaching classes, so we just have to figure out what to do now. We should take the books. घोटते थे उसको बिल्कुल. घोटना means not remembering. It's not remembering. IIT is not about JEE is not about remembering. It's about solving problems. So just sit for hours together and break your head over it. That's how designers has to work. They have to focus and work. There's a lot of exercises which we have for students when we teach them now. It's about developing focus and stay at one place and do something. It doesn't matter what you do. Yeah, like even if you were to cut strip of 1 millimeter thickness, width, keep on cutting it for hours together, and figure out, that's how the it has to work. The work may be far more exciting later on, but you have to develop that kind of a resilience to focus and learn whatever you wish to learn. Learn it. Yeah, keep learning all the time. There's no end to learning. Even at this age, I feel like a child, learning all the time. And now this time I learn from my children and my students. So learning never stops. And also eat well. Because we suffer, our students, we have a huge attendance shortage in the design institutions because children fall ill at the drop of a weather. Just एक थोड़ा सा temperature कम हुआ, छुट्टियां, because वो खांसी आ गई and little ailments and they are in the hospital. So eat well, sleep well, because your body is the only thing which you have. Use it judiciously. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, do design schools, are there any particular qualities that design schools look for in an applicant when they are applying, other than just the portfolio?
I don't even look at the portfolio. I look at them. So now there's a lot of online classes happening, online interviews happening, but we used to have also offline, in-person interviews. The moment the student is to enter the room, we used to almost decide 80% the person is going to be there or not there. Is the energy which you exude, and that happens when you are a curious person. So I think we are looking for curious children who are curious, and they're always constantly prepared to learn anything, even if they don't know much. So, and our portfolio, I'll tell you the whole thing later on.
Sure.
We have very different take on portfolio.
So, along with the focused mindset, can students, with focus comes a resilience, but what if someone doesn't get into the school that they were aiming for? What mindset can they develop to help through that?
Wow, I have no idea because I've not been in academics at all. But I'll tell you what, if you are creative, I've seen kids who've worked with me, who've interned with me, who've gone on to become great designers who've had no design education whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the creativity in you can still remain alive. That nobody is taking away from you. And the skills are easy to pick up. You open your computer and you have all the skills that Claude will tell you how to learn, right? So the important thing is for you to keep your creativity alive, to be curious, as Sir said. It is, as a designer, I remember one of my teachers telling me, you don't have to come up with one solution, you have to come up with 50, right? Because that's your idea of creativity, to be able to think in multitude of ways, in ways that allow you to have different outcomes. And that you can learn skills in schools, you can learn in design schools, I mean, and you can learn how to hone your skills. But I think you can do that yourself as well. I've had college dropout. In fact, one of the girls who was with me for last 4 years, she was a college dropout out of NID. Why? Because she didn't get to learn it the way she wanted to learn. And she's a fantastic designer. So, yeah, I mean, you don't have to be always so disheartened if you don't get into a college. Yeah.
Because NID and IDC, there's a limit. Yeah. But you guys are unlimited, you have unlimited capacity, They have limited capacity to take people, but you have unlimited capacity to go anywhere. It's not the students, it's not the brand value of the university which is important. Is what you give it to the university. I mean, that is what is you will do. I always count. I always tell my students is how much. What is it which you are giving to the university? That is important. That is going to build the entire legacy of the university, and not just the faculty.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and not the infrastructure and the labs and the walls and the brand.
Yeah, the brand. You guys should really. I feel that there's this whole
I mean-
idea of I am from
Yeah,
NID.
I'm from NID.
But I have known so many who don't make it as a great designer, even having graduated from such great institutes. So it's not on the institute; it's on you. So always remember that.
That's a really important point.
Yeah,
here.
so I think because they have very limited
Resources.
resources. I mean, they can't take more than certain number of students. But the whole world is like a oyster for you. You can go anywhere, and if you can work hard, you can do well anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. We often say that whatever we learn never goes waste. So we would like to address you and you, because you all came from different fields into design. How did your learnings from architecture and engineering help when you were studying design?
So for me, architecture is a very disciplined profession. It requires, and because I came from a non-digital era of learning architecture, it required us to make drawings and sheets and make sure your sheet is perpendicular to your drawing board is perpendicular to you. You made sure your letterings are 3 mm, no matter how many paragraphs of writing you're doing. All these little things that you sort of are required to do to build your skills also make you think, and that thought process helps you develop in the profession that you're in. Architecture also is a very, as I always say, is a very romantic profession. You have to, because the buildings speak with you. You're communicating. There are people around that inhabit that building, and architecture always has taught me to romanticize creativity in that sense, be very poetic about it. And that's what I think I took very deeply from architecture. So what else did I take? The love of doing things by hand, crafts, making sure that while you're doing them, you're thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Engineering is that you use the word engineering in a very negative sense. Like you engineer a coup, and you architect. You are architect of a nation. So I'm sorry, but I for me engineering was not a coup. It's not a coup. Engineering is how it's like you ask what is, and design is what if. So for both are important. So if you don't know what is, then how will you what you will do? What if? How will you respond to what if? So engineering is I think the design cannot exist without execution. So you don't design. I mean, you design like that. You start with that, but you have to engineer it. You take it to the entire process of building it. And for that you require materials, you require sciences, because it has to exist in the world. It has to have a form. It has to manifest itself for the user. So you require engineering. So, this is how I learned from engineering. That you give it a form and execute it and deliver it and manufacture it. Later on, when I worked in industry, for me engineering was a very important, because I was an engineer, I was a better designer. Because I could influence the entire process of converting an idea to a marketable, saleable product. Yeah. So
I'll take that point once more. The thing is, architecture, when we were studying, my sir used to always say कि जो घर आप लकड़े में बना सकते हो वो आप brick में नहीं बना सकते, right? And वो आप stone में नहीं बना सकते. The design is different. And that's so true with, I practice product design, and I'll talk about that. जो painting शायद आप acrylic में कर सकते हो when you're designing for plastics, you're designing it differently. When you're designing for glass, you're designing it differently. So that idea that a material, what Sir's been talking about, that you have to have the engineering mindset while designing. Unless you understand your materials, your processes, you'll not be able to design for them. A drinking glass could be made in melamine, it could be made in ceramics, it could be made in glass, but each of those materials require that glass to be designed differently. And if you don't do that, you're not doing justice either to the function or to the material itself. And that's something that holds true, from having studied architecture. I think that stuck with me beyond as well. Yeah.
There's an architect, she's no more, Zaha Hadid.
Yes.
I'm sure
Yes.
Parul knows. So Zaha Hadid, when you look at her design, product design, you should see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it breathes that material.
That material. Yeah.
So if you look at the table she has made in glass, it will feel as if the glass is flowing and becoming a table. So that kind of a language she had. So.
Yes. As you mentioned that it's very important for a person to understand how a material works. Along with that, is designing a portfolio, I mean, not just a portfolio, but is designing a good portfolio enough, or what abilities other than just that do you see when you're hiring someone?
When I'm hiring someone, what Sir said, when somebody walks in, the portfolio doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The resume matters even less. The attitude you come in with, what he said, I resonate with that completely. Your curiosity to learn, your wanting to be open to ideas. Yeah, you wanting to work hard. Yeah, and solving problems, adjusting to the space that you are applying to. Envisioning their vision as their own. I think these are things that, and top it all, I think curiosity. You can't sit at a desk and tell me ki ye aluminium pe ye anodizing hoga. No, boss. You gotta go, you figure it out. See, I'm not asking anybody who comes in to have material knowledge of an engineer if they've done their whatever BCom or arts or whatever, right? But if you have the curiosity, you learn. Learn enough to be a good designer, to understand that process well. Yeah.
A very important thing, because a lot of students just think that degree le li to ho gaya, or it's really important to learn at times.
Yeah, especially with product design, use your hands. All the time, use your hands, be on your feet, look around. Think about everything that you touch. How was it made? Who made it? Why did they make it like that? Whether it's a bottle of water, a planter, a table, a chair, your glasses, everything around you is thought of, made, and think about how it may have been. I think that will help you just become knowledgeable.
Yes, being knowledgeable is such an important point. Ma'am, when you mentioned that a person, when you're joining another company, you envision that company's vision as your own and work. After a point, people move on to different companies. When do you know that it's the right time to start your own thing? When did you think it was the right time to start?
I knew from the very beginning that every moment is the right time to start your own thing, be your own boss. And because I haven't known otherwise, I think that's the greatest thing that I could have done. In fact, me and my now husband, when we were studying, we started under the same umbrella of Raiden. We started working during our college to get projects to, baju ka pocket money to spend on things that parents won't give you money for. So it was then that we were working under the umbrella of Raiden, and we were in first year. And we later formalized it or registered our company much later in 2010. But it's always a good time to start on your own. But you have to have the courage, the grit, the determination to see all the ups and downs, because being an entrepreneur requires you to do that. But it's fun too. So,
How do you train students to come into the industry, or when you're working with freshers who are just freshly graduated or dropouts who have just been in school, how do you prepare them for the jump that is from design education to industry?
No, we have projects for them which are sponsored by the organization and by the studios. So we bring in that almost in third year to the students. So they work on projects, and as if they're working in that industry. So the industry comes. So we are always trying to build bridges between academia and industry, because we have a network. We have worked in industry, so we have a network. So we get them to work on projects, and then we also tell the industry that make some of these products commercially viable, and whatever help they need, we can also help them as faculty. So this is how we work, and so they get a sort of an idea of how industries work, how the processes in industry works, how it is just not drawing and creating a little form, is about a whole lot of execution, manufacturability, and all that. So that we tell them.
For me, when a person comes from school for the first time in the studio, I ask them to do operations, pack boxes. Let's start there, yeah? Because design's not just in sketching, in ideating, in creating great projects. It's in everything you do. It's in the precision with which you will paste your stickers on the boxes. It's in the way you write your emails. It's in the way you communicate with your clients. So, unless you understand and imbibe that design thinking in all aspects of your life, it's difficult to ensure that the product that you design has taken into account all of this. And then you understand what the user is experiencing. You understand what the transporter is experiencing. You understand how... So design's not just that object itself,
Right. Can you, in a few lines, explain? These people have they're mainly 11th and 12th years, so they haven't seen design school yet. But can you explain, or the industry actually? Could you please help them understand how different it is? Design school kya hai or industry kya hai? Do you just become industry ready after coming out of school, or?
That would be my dream if I had industry-ready kids who would come.
Yes.
But yeah, I think you want to take this first. I'm going to have to articulate.
Yeah,
my
you have
words.
to rephrase your question.
Yeah.
It's not clear.
How different is design school from the industry?
It is different. Very different.
Very,
because
very different.
in academy, in design education, you have a course called Failure 101. You understand? Okay. Not here, but there is. Have you heard of Harvard's? Yeah, there's a design school in Harvard. They have the first course called Failure 101, in which you all are supposed to fail. If you pass that course, then you fail. It's about failure. How do you fail, and how do you fail forward? Yeah, that is how design educations work. Institutions work. Industry doesn't work like that. You cannot fail.
You're
Because
expected to deliver, right?
Yeah,
From
so deliver.
day one.
Because whatever you do, like if I design this bottle and it has to be manufactured, the industry is going to spend multiple lakhs of rupees to make the whole process, manufacturable. They cannot risk that. So they have to have a trust on you. That means you have to have the capacity to deliver on that trust. That is the difference between design education institutions and industry.
You pay to get education, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're getting paid to work with somebody.
With someone.
Yeah, very different. I always tell kids who come for the first time and who is it, what is it that you are getting to the table? I want to come to the studio to learn creativity. I want to come here to do great product design. I want to ideate. I want to conceptualize. I want to do work. Bhai, teko kya karna hai sab great. What is it that you're doing for us? What is it that you're doing for the studio? Let's speak about that. Do I need you to do that? Yeah.
Yeah. So the tolerance bandwidth industry is very, 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 very little. Yeah.
So teachers giving redo is actually
Yeah, it's fine because
Like I tell
you
my
fail.
son, you know, मुझसे डांट खा लो अच्छा है दुनिया से डांट खाओगे तो it is going to hurt you
hurt
more.
hurt you
So
more.
if your teacher is telling you to do something twice, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get kicked out of a job, right?
And also, we are not looking for students to perform. We want them to put an effort. I will never evaluate students because of lack of performance, but I will evaluate them adversely if they have not put an effort. It's about effort because performance is very relative, and also it takes time. Yeah, but effort doesn't take time. You have to. I mean, effort you can always put, no?
Yeah.
But whether you succeed or not, that is besides the point. But have you put an effort? That is important.
And in my experience, when you put the effort, you get the
You
results.
get the results, you know. Yeah, always.
okay. Design school, when you're preparing for entrances or when you're preparing for design school, what misconceptions do students generally come with?
I think so. I should take that.
Yeah.
It was a very long time ago when I appeared for a entrance.
Misconception number one, that you need to know to draw. Oh,
ये सवाल के लिए तो करना ही पड़ेगा।
misconception number one, that you need to draw.
Yes, I agree with them.
Yeah,
100%.
I have been the head of product design in Wipro. I never drew anything. I have to talk to my architect in a sign language, you know. Okay, ऐसा बनेगा, ऐसा और फिर ऐसा. समझ में आया? and he said, okay, let me draw for you. So he should draw for me. I'm just joking. Is in a lighter vein. But one misconception is you don't have to draw well. You have to have an idea here in your mind, you know, because now you have a great intern called AI,
Yes.
and that can draw for you. You know, maybe not as good, but it can draw for you. So that is one misconception. Second thing is your portfolio need not be a wedding buffet. You know, it's like
Thank you
100
for
items, you
saying
know.
that.
It's like गणपति भी है, शिव भी है, शंकर भी है, you know, थोड़ी सी एक मंडला भी है और कुछ थोड़े से products भी हैं, you know, sketches. We are not, portfolio is your reflection of your life. So even if you've done whatever you've done, you know, in your life, reflect that. You are, all of you are individuals, you know, passionate individuals. So you learn a lot of things. You learn languages, you learn a lot of the music, dance. You're also part of a society, so you're a social contributor. So you're a volunteer. You've done some work in the society for your community. Plus, you also have done something for the environment. You know. So you look at yourself as an individual, as a member of society, and as a part of this earth. You know, whatever little you have done for in any of these roles, put that in your portfolio. That is the reflection of what you are. It doesn't matter whether you put drawings or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So
I've seen some great renders turn out to be very bad products.
yeah.
Yeah. And some people who do great sketching have no idea of how the product will turn out. So totally on board with what Sir's saying. Yeah, sketching
then-
is not a prerequisite.
And portfolios are
Creativity is.
doctored.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have doctored now. I mean, there are people who will make your portfolios. You know, you pay them 25,000 rupees. They make your portfolios. I have seen some students talking to me about that. They said, "Can you make my portfolio?" So
Be honest, yeah.
There is a
in the-
misconception.
Yeah, you totally be honest in your portfolios. It comes through very easily. You know, it's like kids feel that someone can't see through it, but it's very easy to.
and especially now we have online interviews. So when we look at the portfolio and it's such a beautiful drawing and figure drawing, I ask them, okay, you stand, you can see me, please draw me within a minute or so. You draw me and then show me. you know, and the guy is shaking all over. I mean, most of them, you know. So
So जानना ही चाहिए is a like you should know everything when you're applying for an interview or like when you're presenting yourself at an interview.
no, you know yourself. That's all.
It's a good, yeah, know yourself, be
That's
honest,
it. Be honest, you know.
and be ready to learn.
You are not a designer, no. You're a learner. How good learner you are, show that.
Yeah, because see, even when you say, for example, it's your first day at work, I don't expect you to design the first day.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. You've not worked in the industry. You've never probably worked in real life in the sense of knowing everything that goes around in getting a product into market. It's a very long journey. So no such expectations to know everything. But yeah, expectation for you to have curiosity, for you to know whatever your curriculum has taught you, for you to know your materials, your processes. Yeah.
Because I remember when we were interviewing the first batch in MIT IIT Pune, there were a couple of my senior colleagues were there from NID. We were sitting, and there was also one great person called Dr. Kumar Vyas, Professor Kumar Vyas from NID. He was sitting with us, you know, and there was one student who came from North, and she was not talking. She was like tongue-tied, you know. She was not saying anything. Then we told her. Then Kumar Vyas suggested that let's ask her something which she knows. So I said, okay, what do you do? She said, I do dance. I said, okay, what kind of dance? You're saying I can moonwalk. I said, okay, then you moonwalk. She was moonwalking so beautifully for 10 minutes, you know, and then she was taken. Because she was doing that very elegantly, you know, and with a lot of passion and enjoyment, you know. So, and there were many incidents like that particular year, first batch. Someone had to sing a song also. There was one girl who was learning, she was doing Visharad in Sangeet, you know, so ask her to एक वो ठुमरी उसने गाई और इतनी खूबसूरत गाई कि बिल्कुल हमने बोला कि ये तो चलो कम से कम गाएगी तो डिजाइन नहीं करेगी तो कम से कम गाएगी.
And that holds true with our interviews also, huh? When we are looking for a candidate for the studio, one of my husband's favorite questions is, actually there are 5. One of them is, what music do you listen to?
Yeah.
What movies do you watch?
Yeah.
What art do you like? What books do you read?
Yes.
So, you know, that makes the whole you.
It's you know, because we don't expect you to be a designer, you know, not a great sketcher. You're learning, you know. So
You mentioned that AI is a very good friend these days.
yes.
How can AI help us to become a better designer, and what skills other than using AI can make a designer more valuable?
Yeah. So first of all, AI for me is not just artificial intelligence. Is that couple of derivatives. One is augmented intelligence. That is one. Something which augments your intelligence. Second one is additional intelligence. And so AI is algorithm, right? A very brutal, very brute force algorithm it is, you know. So it is it can connect things very quickly, right? But it doesn't have senses. Yeah. So you develop your senses. Yeah. So the way you observe, the way you look at the world through your senses, and how the senses receive the data, and then how do you create perceptions. So use your senses to design better, and use AI to understand data, you know. So AI could be a good intern with you. Yeah. And you use, so it's like there are 4 Ds I think you should understand about this AI with us. One is delegation. What is it which you delegate to AI, and what is it which you delegate to yourself? Yeah, that you understand, you know. And because you have a human intelligence which is evolved over millions of years, you know, vis-a-vis AI which is just a couple of centuries maybe, you know. That is one. Second thing is discern. What is it which AI has done? Is it right? Who will discern it? Because if something goes wrong, the AI cannot be blamed. AI is not a face to be blamed, right? You are a face. You will be blamed if something goes wrong, you know. So use discernment, you know. And also, there's a word called diligence. That means you have to make it responsible design. Whatever you do, it should be responsible, ethical, because that is how the world will view you as a designer, and not AI. Yeah. So use AI judiciously, and develop your own neural network, you know, which can happen by awakening your senses, you know. Yeah, practicing your senses, because I think we have visual sense overemphasized, overused, disused, misused, you know. Use other senses as well, because that is where your a good product or a great product is always uses multi senses, you know, and that's how the future of products are. You look at virtual reality, smart wearables, research on scents and fragrances happening. All that is happening because of senses. So that is where the human intelligence has to work on.
I use AI as a tool. For me, that's where I keep it. Use it to become efficiency. Will it create for us? Maybe. I'm not sure if we're there yet. But if you are able to use AI as a tool to make sure that efficiency goes up, your ability to do mundane tasks goes up. I think I use it all. I mean, I would love to use more, but I'm not there yet. But I think there's lots to learn there.
To conclude, if you could give the students a one-liner or a mantra that you have lived by, or a quote that you have lived by, as a seed of advice, what would it be? Or a collection of seeds of advice?
If you're a design student, live design. I think it's a way of life. It's something that you imbibe in everything that you do. That's something I try and follow. I've learned it from one of the designers I worked with. He used to live what he practiced, he preached. The way his studios developed, the way his products developed, the way he spoke, the way he wrote. And that's something I strive to do as well. I think you have to really be a designer to practice design.
Yeah, I'll just use 4 words. Do what you love. Whatever you love, do it. You know, it could be anything. It's not confined to design only.
Yeah.
You have to perform. That love will come everything. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think we open the floor for a few questions.
But there are still questions.
For the audience. Sketchbook or digital notes?
Sketchbook. Without a doubt. I don't think I have to think.
Any paper, even if it's a toilet paper,
Yeah.
and a marking device, you know, which you can mark, is better than anything digital.
What vendors board marks or portfolio?
What is that?
None of them. Marks or portfolio.
Marking the portfolio.
One book every design student should read.
A book? Wow. One of the first books I read was by Ayn Rand, Fountainhead. It's more pertaining to architecture,
architect,
but I can't help it. But it teaches you to think creatively or think idealistically about creativity. Yeah. Oh, it's Fountainhead.
The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand.
One movie or
Do one thing. Don't use mic.
one movie or documentary every designer should watch.
Have you seen Abstract on Netflix? Yes, that's beautiful.
So one book that you
You could also see
Yeah.
that. Please go ahead. Yeah.
The one book not one book, there are a couple of them. One of them is Design for the Real World by Victor Papanek. That is one. And there's an interesting book which I'm reading. It's called Designing Design by Kenya Hara, a Japanese designer. Designing Design by Kenya Hara and Design for the Real World by Victor Papanek.
And a documentary.
Documentary, there are three. One is Koyanits Kadzi by the guy called Godfrey Reggio. Koyanits Kadzi is a film without music. I mean,
Yeah,
without
it's
narrative, not with
I
music.
mean,
It has no narrative,
dialogues.
no dialogues, but with music. It's a long film. Koyanits Kadzi means life out of balance. Yes, there is one. Second film is Objectified. Yeah, Objectified is a good film. It's about how designers design everyday objects. Yeah, how they do that. So that is a good film. Yeah. LinkedIn. Because this is how I linked up with my students very well. Because this is how you catch them. Also, you understand what they're doing. It's a very I love LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Parul.
for me, I think it will be my to-do list. I can't live without. Yeah, my reminders and task lists.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, solo work or teamwork?
Teamwork. Can't do without my team.
I think it's solo to start with and then build it up through a well-oiled team for execution. You cannot work alone. But you work solo also, let them also work solo and come together. But it's always coming together which is important.
Your guilty pleasure while working.
Elderflower gin. There is just one.
I
And
think for me, it's chai.
chai.
I can't, yeah.
It's like chai which you go and make yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you wake up, the whole process of making chai itself is waking up. No? So,
If you weren't a designer, what would you do?
I think I like films. I would want to take up something cinematography, probably screenplay, direction. I don't know. Films interest me, so I would have pursued that as a career, I guess. Storytelling.
Indian Air Force pilot.
Oh wow, that cannot be more dramatically
Because
different.
I was almost there. I failed because of knock knees. I was in National Defense Academy, but I had failed because of my knock knees. My knees used to knock with each other, so I failed.
One superpower every designer should have.
It's the ability to cut out noise, and be able to focus. I think if I can do that, I would be happy. Yeah.
Having a dream machine. Because a lot of things I have designed in dreams, but the moment I get up, I forget. So if somehow there can be a dream machine which can, you can revisit. Yeah, it's like you can see, what's happening. So a dream machine.
What is a fictional character who would make a great designer?
So I don't know if you guys follow Hercule Poirot. It's a Agatha Christie. He's very detailed oriented and very particular. I think he would make a good designer and one of my favorite characters too. So.
Jerry. He solves problem in seconds.
What's the weirdest source of inspiration you ever
Yeah, is it okay if I skip this? Yeah, we were once designing this. This was very early on in my career. I was working with somebody, and we had to make a oil bottle for a groundnut oil company, and our inspiration was a groundnut, which wasn't very. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was designing a lighting product for a patient. I had to admit myself as a patient for a week in a hospital when I was in Wipro. Yeah, this is how I could work. You know, method
Yes.
acting, method.
One city every designer should be.
New York. Very inspiring. Lots to learn. Yeah.
For me, it's not a city; it's a country. Japan,
Japan.
Yes.
because I think that is one of the country where people are modern in their mindset,
Yeah.
not just in technology, but in their mindset. They're very modern, very good citizen.
Mm.
Yeah. Sampler?